Okay, today we have a piece of guitar history again from a company that originally produced guitars in Britain, starting in 1952, I believe. This is the Burns Cobra. This particular model is now produced in China as a cost-cutting measure, but same as the Korean-made Burns, the quality is really quite high. So for the price, this is immediately an attractive guitar. Let's take it from the top. The machine heads are sealed, mini machine heads sealed there. The six-side headstock has a distinctive bat wing profile to it. The neck is a maple bolt-on. You probably noticed by now this is very much a Stratocaster style of guitar, and it follows a lot of Stratocaster characteristics, with at least one very nice surprise added on top, which we'll get to in a few minutes. The neck is maple bolt-on, a standard width, but a surprisingly, some would say shockingly, slim depth, which makes it a really comfortable guitar to play. It's very similar to modern necks, and has little in common with the vintage style Strat guitar necks that you can acquire these days. The fretboard is rosewood. It's been nicely oiled. It has a sheen to it. The fret markers are traditional dots. They're mirrored along the top of the neck as standard. The frets are medium fat, nicely finished. So we move on to the body, which is, as you can see, pretty much a Stratocaster clone, with the possible exception of being a bit fatter at the waist. But the contours on the player's side and on the front, the comfort contours are the same. If you're familiar with the Strat, that's the way this feels. Although the body is quite heavy compared to similar Stratocasters or Stratocaster copies. I don't know what the wood is. I can't find out anywhere easily on the internet, but it's quite heavy. I wouldn't be surprised if it's mahogany or something close to mahogany in the family of trees. Moving swiftly on to the electrics. 3 pickups. They're Burns Trisonic pickups. They have the same style and shape and configuration as a Stratocaster pickup would, but I think because they're actually made for Burns and no one else, the quality is slightly higher, a lot higher than you would expect on a cheap Strat copy, or a cheaper end Strat copy. The bridge, fully adjustable, has the vibrato, mostly called a trem these days, but is correctly called a vibrato bridge, which involves 3 springs in the back of the guitar, accessible by through this panel, that counteract the tension of the strings. So effectively the bridge is pivoting, and it gives you sort of nice effects like this one is nice. It's sensitive and solid in the same touch. Doesn't seem to make sense, but that's the impression I get from it. Comes back into tune really nicely when you're just trilling those chords like that. But don't expect it to deal with heavy metal whammies, because it's not going to. It's a vintage design. The whole thing pivots slightly on 3 screws in the front there, which if you own one of these guitars, you should tighten occasionally, just as part of your maintenance routine. Okay, if we move on quickly to the controls, again very similar Strat kind of features here. You've got the volume control, which is close to the strings. You've got 2-tone controls. The one at the bottom, furthest away from you, controls the tone on the bridge pickup. The other one controls the tone on the other 2. 5-way pickup selector gives you your basic sounds. So I've got it set right now on position 1, which is bridge pickup only. Go to second position, which is bridge and middle. Third position, which is middle only. Fourth position, which is middle and neck. And the final position, fifth, is the neck pickup alone. That's all standard Strat territory. Those combinations are available on anything with a 5-way pickup selector. I find the sound of the Burns slightly creamier, woodier than you would expect a Strat of a similar cost to be. That I think is down to a combination of the better quality pickups at the price range and the heavier body. But the Cobra has a little surprise for us. This tone control, if you pull it, this tone control at the bottom, if you pull it, not the easiest thing to do in a hurry, but if you pull that up, it engages the neck pickup in all pickup configurations. So then you have position 1 is bridge and neck, which isn't normally available without the gizmo there. So you're getting a mellower, bluesier sound there. Second position, that will then engage all 3 pickups. Which is a rather lovely sound. All other pickup selections, the middle and the third one, the middle and the neck, the other two, what I was meaning to say, the other two engage the neck pickup anyway, so there's no change there. But that adds a further 3 possible sounds to the 5 that you have, which makes this an extraordinarily versatile little machine. Can it play heavy rock? Yes, it can. It's got a neck that if you were a shredder, you could shred quite happily on. And let's not forget that the trisonic pickups, which are on this guitar, also form the basis of Brian May's guitar, and the tone that Brian May acquires comes largely from those pickups. It has a history. It has associations with early rock and roll, particularly with the Shadows. But I think that the versatility, the spunky looks, makes it a guitar as much for today as it was for the beat bands of the late 50s and early 60s. Incredibly cheap. At the time of this review, it was in the region of £200. Now, that is an extraordinary bargain. Go to iMuso, have a look.